He is a six-time Connecticut Sportscaster of the Year. Our friend Scott Gray, WTIC News Talk 1080. Welcome back. Always good to see you.
Always a pleasure to be here, Stanley.
We got a lot of stuff going on. Football, right? Judge comes in and, quote-unquote, mediates this whole walkout. Not walkout, do you lock out and say basically get back to work?
Yeah.
To what degree? I mean, it's a judge's order, but will the NFL comply with a wink?
Well, it's the opening legal salvo. Of course, the NFL owners are appealing. Right. There's some question as to whether or not the players can actually go back to work. What's going on right now, and this could even go on all summer, is just a lot of legal rulings until each side fully understands how much leverage they have, how much they can realistically go after. This, the NFL did an interesting thing last week. They booked the hotel rooms in Indianapolis through the week after the Super Bowl, so that if they have to, they could play the Super Bowl a week late.
Okay.
So if they did that, say took a week off, one of the 2 weeks between the league championship games and the Super Bowl, took one of those weeks away, took the bye week away during the regular season. They could start the regular season as late as October.
So they had a plan
and get
B
everything in. They've got Plan B already underway.
They're billionaires. They're smart guys.
Well, you know what? They are. They're billionaires. They're smart guys, which I heard one analogy this week that, okay, the players just made a 20-yard gain, but it's still a long way to the end zone. And you talk about the owners being billionaires and smart guys. I think the players' immediate reaction to this, some of the players reacted not badly, but stupidly.
Overreacted, you're saying, right?
Well, for instance, DeBrickashaw Ferguson going into the Jets camp, into the Jets training facility because it was open to him now. He couldn't do any working out because there was no team personnel there to work out under. Right. But he shows up saying, well, I've got a $750,000 bonus for coming to the workouts. I mean, these are supposedly mandatory workouts, and they give players bonuses for just showing up. He said, so I've made my commitment. I'm here. I get my $750,000 bonus. And he shows up driving a Ferrari. I mean, the fans really...
Not making a very sympathetic case to the fans.
Right,
the
fans want to side with the players, but the owners came across looking a lot smarter this week.
The players came up a little bit arrogant, you're saying.
A little arrogant, yeah.
So Maurice Smith,
the
union,
players union.
He comes out early now, but he comes out as sort of a player in this. He gets, if you're going to score right now, the check mark for him.
Today,
at least having the judge make that decision. So he now is considered a rising star. But you said this thing is far from over. End of the day, what would you do? And we have a few minutes left. You have $9 billion, I think it is, right? So what would be your solution? If you were in charge, you say you're the mediator, cut this deal. Give me 3 bullet points that you would do to cut this deal.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's going to take a lot smarter heads than mine to figure this thing out.
The whole rookie thing is one, right? The rookie thing is... The rookies can't make $30-40 million anymore, so give them a rookie cap would be one thing.
A rookie cap is going to have to be one thing that's going to be settled. But the first thing that they've got to settle is the exempt status of certain, right now, one of that $9 billion a year, $1 billion is exempt from the revenue sharing between the players and the owners.
It goes to the owners, right?
Right. That $1 billion is set aside, say, an expense $1 billion.
Right.
And the owners assume the expenses. The owners want to increase that exempt status. So there's the first figure that's going to have to be figured out.
The players get more right now, right? The share of the
as far as beyond what's exempt.
Right.
The players get like 65% of the revenues beyond the exempt status.
Right. So the issue is, if you want to split it, then the problem is once you have 65%, you don't want to give anything back. So the problem is if someone said, listen, just split the pie, 50-50, do what you have to do. The question is, or the answer is, well, the players have 65. Why go back on that? You don't want to give back.
Well, you see, but this may be what the owners are trying to do, say to the players, you can keep the 65%.
Right.
But we want to exempt more than the $1 billion that's exempt. So they would be getting 65% of a smaller share of the pie.
Has Commissioner Roger Goodell done a decent job? How would you assess how he's handled it so far?
I think Roger Goodell has been a little bit shoddy in the way he's handled this. I just don't think that he's really been totally forthcoming with the owner and management position on this.
That's his job.
Well, you're right. You know what? You're absolutely right. Because he's there working for the owners, and that's the problem.
They pay him, right?
That's the problem. Ever since the commissioner status in all of sports, look at Bud Selig in Major League Baseball. If they replace Bud Selig, which supposedly they're going to be doing in a year, I think that if every sport really wants to deal up front and honest, get somebody who doesn't work for either side. And that's the problem with Roger Goodell. That's the problem with Bud Selig. They represent the money. They represent the money end of it.
The owners probably will never go for that, though. The owners, they have the money. They want someone they control, or at least have someone in their pocket.
If you were picking a new commissioner of baseball, Stanley, let me turn it on you. Who would you pick? Wouldn't you like to go away from the old boys owners circle?
I'd pick you.
I would pick Walter Harrison, the president of the University of Hartford.
I like that.
And I think now if you have that,
I think he'd take it.
He'd be terrific. He's a great baseball historian. He certainly has a tremendous feel for the game and for the fans' feel for the game.
Since you brought baseball up, we have about 2 minutes. Let's segue. We'll talk about Harrison later. Baseball, Major League Baseball.
Okay.
Start with the Mets.
Start with the Mets. Mets are on a little bit of a roll. The last week they've been on a little bit of a roll. Enjoy it while you can, Mets fans, because this is not going to last.
Why not?
I just don't. I don't see this team finishing 500 this season. I really don't. I think somewhere around 78 and 84 or 80.
How about this? Low expectations, not a lot of pressure. They fly below radar.
Certainly they do. Right. But no, I just don't see it. That division is going to be very, very difficult for them. The Braves are going to be much better. The Phillies always, the team you've got to contend with, probably the best pitching staff in baseball.
In 30 seconds, Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Real quick.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm glad I wasn't one of those people that started screaming gloom and doom when they were 3-10, got off to the worst start in baseball.
Only 150 games left, right?
I was telling people, wait a minute. After a week, people are going, hey, they're on a pace to lose 162 games.
What do you think in 30 seconds?
Red Sox and Yankees fighting it out down to the wire in the American League. As always.
Yankees, 36-year-old Derek Jeter, 15 seconds. Can he carry him through the year? Is he the guy to keep an eye on with the Yankees?
He will not be required to carry them. Alex Rodriguez will have a monster year.
Robinson Cano is the guy coming
Robinson Cano really is the guy. And the Yankees, one of the big commodities that's going to be out there in the market, in the waiver market deadline in August, is going to be pitching. The Red Sox won't have to go after any, but there will be plenty out there for the Yankees to get, so they'll get better. It's going to be a down-to-the-wire fight.
All right, we're down to the wire right here. Thanks to our guests, Chris Keeney and Scott Gray. Don't forget, you can catch our show 24/7 at ctnow.com/Stan and check out exclusive behind-the-scenes video of the show. Friend us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. For the good folks here at Fox Connecticut, I'm Stan Simpson. The Morning News is next.